Hi, so lovely to connect on Radio Mum. School holidays are upon us and we are all frantically trying to come up with activities to do with our kids or for our kids to do while we're working, and that's really good. But I am here to tell you today that you don't have to do that all the time. And here's why. So when we don't plan activities for our children, they get bored. And boredness brings with it a little bit of discomfort, and discomfort often brings with it maybe a niggle, maybe a fight, and I think as mothers or as parents, we don't really want that. So the first thing we do when we see that coming on is we step in and we redirect and we create play for our children. Yes?
They bother Mommy.
Okay, are you going to go play with them? Okay, so unfortunately that when we do that, we might stop a fight from happening and we might stop that discomfort. But what we also stop is our children generating ideas of what to do and creating ideas of play for themselves. Now that's a really important part of something we called motor planning. So motor planning is essentially sequencing individual movements together or chaining individual movements together to create a greater movement function. Now, it consists of three main parts. First is the ideation, the coming up with the idea of something you want to do. The second part is the execution, so then trying to actually execute it and doing it. So you've got this idea, but is it realistic and can you put it into practice? And once you've done the actual practical side, are you then able to appraise and evaluate it? Are you able to go, hey, this kind of works, but if I'm making this marble run, this is sort of at the wrong angle, so I can readjust it and put it here. Now that's the motor planning process. And then, you're able to go back and adjust. So that's the motor planning process. And it's a complicated process. And it involves a lot of integration of our motor skills and our cognition and all different executive functioning skills. And the problem is that when we're always teaching children or when we're always instructing children or giving them ideas of things to do, they're not practicing that process. So basically, I'm letting you off the hook. Let them be bored. Yes, it's uncomfortable at first. And if you want to avoid the niggle and the possible fight with a sibling, don't jump in and create play for them. Sometimes it's better just to give them a question. Try and engage their cortex. Propose to them an idea that they can generate. So go, wow, look around us. What could we use? Could we make something? Wouldn't it be nice if we had something to get from here to there? What could we use around us? Or, wow, that would be such an awesome game if we used our little superhero figures, but what could we do with them? So really, when there's boredom, you don't always have to come up with the idea, and you don't have to have planned an idea in advance. The best thing that you can do is to create a space where you use questions to scaffold and grade and get children to come up with that idea on their own. And then when they've done it, again, you go back to the questions and you're like, does this really work the best way it could? Or is that safe? Do you think that's stable? Do you think that's safe to stand on? Do you think we can make it a little bit more stable, a little bit safer? How could we do that? And really, by using those questions, you trigger those parts of their brain that start the problem solving, that start the ideation, that start the sequencing things together. So don't always do too much homework. Don't mom too hard. Give yourself a break and just ask them questions and give them that space to do it. So I hope that's helpful. I hope it lets you off the hook a little bit. It's a really, really wonderful skill to help foster in your children. And not only does it help with the creation of these motor sequences and these motor plans, but it's also a really great way for fostering that interaction and engagement that isn't so much adult-led. Okay, have a wonderful week further and we'll check in next week. Bye.